Is it? Shit. Are we good? Alright, cool. Hey guys, I'm Danny with Bluestribute. I'm here with Jesse Hasek, lead singer of 10 Years. I'm super stoked to be here. You guys have been one of my favorite bands for years and years. Haven't missed a show in Denver, so thank you so much for doing this, for meeting us. Let's talk about the new track, Miscellanea. Just came out. They've been blasting that on Octane. I'm in a rental car right now, lucky enough to have Sirius. And
that's awesome.
Every time I turn it on, I feel like they're playing you guys.
Man, they really jumped on board early this time, which is really cool because it sucks when you have like a record that you feel like is not fully cohesive, like a record like Feeding the Wolves. I'll be totally straightforward with, like, that's my least favorite cohesive start to finish record because they were trying to make us write this hit.
Feeding the Wolves. Yeah.
And that's where it do have it very bipolar. It was very pissed off and angry and talking about it, and then all of a sudden there's like this ballad.
Yep.
And it was just, you could hear strictly where we were just trying to get the budget to record the album. And then when we finally got out from under that iron curtain, I guess, Minus was more like the Autumn thing. We could have a full continuity of it. But Minus didn't, in success to everyone, the label and stuff didn't. We were our own label, but our distributors and stuff, they were expecting more. And it seems like this record already out the gate, we're working a different, there's a lot of marketing to it, there's a lot of, the politics to it, but just right out the gate, first impressions, people are jumping on Miscellanea better than I expected.
That's killer. So, talking about other bands, one of my favorite bands was Fair Midland. A few years back.
Yes.
I got to see them twice before they kind of fizzled out. I saw them with Ryan. Your current bass player, just killed it. I was like, oh my god, that bass player.
He's a man.
Got to chat with him outside, in Colorado Springs a couple years back. What has he brought to the table writing-wise? Because that bass line coming out of the chorus and Miscellanea, just killer.
I mean, the thing, our writing dynamic is pretty wild because we always have the open door policy, and we always have everybody in throwing ideas in. But he lives in Vegas. Our guitar player that used to be in Maylene and the Sons of Disaster lives in Florida. Our touring drummer lives in Los Angeles. Tater and I live in Knoxville. But we still have all the originals in Knoxville too, Lewis and Brian and Matt.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff is a little bit of an open door policy, but it was just random ideas flying around. Who really started that bass line was Brian.
Really?
It was just, it's everybody just taking every different angle, and there's no one set person does one thing. And Brian, we recorded Minus the Machine in his studio, and I would be underselling him tremendously if I didn't stress the level of talent that guy has. He really is you can throw an idea at him and he'll make it to a four-course meal.
Just being able to switch from
he's a Dave
guitar.
He's a Dave Grohl. That Brian he's the guy that you can. We're all really good at coming up with ideas and parts, but he's the guy that can turn it into a piece.
Well, that's good to hear you say touring drummer. It's kind of weird seeing the pictures pop up on Facebook.
Yeah.
Where's Brian?
And Brian, to be truthful with the whole thing, he just got to a point with his family life where he'd gone through some families up and down stuff. He had a changing of some. He got remarried, and he's just recently had a little boy less than a year ago, and then in the middle of doing this record, the From Birth to Burial, he had a premature little girl. So I mean, he's doing all the studio work, but with everything he's got on his plate at home, that's why.
It's great to hear he's still involved.
He's tremendous. He was a very, very big factor in this record.
Can't wait to see everybody pick up a copy. Listen to the track, buy the track on iTunes, support these guys. They're still just kicking ass. And
we appreciate it.
One of my all-time favorite bands. So Jesse, thank you so much for taking the time.
No problem.
Really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. See you guys in the future.